Hey rollerbladers, welcome back. So out here at Hoffman Skate Park in Oklahoma City. But as you know, I've been skating the Faction Tactical V1s for quite a while now, and some of my feedback for Clark and for Faction here was that I would like to see like a heel pad, a shock absorber of some kind, because it seemed like the landings were a little bit on the harsh side. They don't come with a shock absorber, they just come with a kind of a standard insole, and it's a good insole, but it doesn't have much shock absorption properties. And what do you know? So they made they have a shock absorber here. I talked with Clark about it. I asked Clark, hey, like, where's the best place to put this? Because it kind of looks like it could go inside the liner or it could go under the liner. Clark says he likes where his heel sits while it's in the liner, so he puts this underneath the liner in the boot. And then I've heard Zach over here, who skates Factions as well, he puts it just right down in the liner itself, which is what I'm gonna try, and if I end up not liking it, then I'll just put this underneath the liner. If I don't end up liking it, but we'll see. So I asked Clark too, because these come standard with all new, from here on out, all new purchases of the Faction skates. So this will be a standard item. But I asked Clark, I said, well, what about the people who don't have these already? You know, how can they get those? And he said, basically verbatim, if people bother me enough about it, then I'll consider selling these separately. So take that how you will. If you want to message Clark, DM Clark, hey, sell these separately, then well, we the people shall speak. But anyway, I'm going to test these out today, just have a normal session. I think we're gonna skate here at the park. We might go skate a little bit of street and test these things out, but stay tuned towards the end because I will give my impressions. But yeah, shout out Faction for adapting and creating new stuff. So we have a little gel on the bottom, nice soft deal here. So anyway, let's session, and I'll let you know what I think after the session. Okay, good session with the new Faction heel pads here. These aren't super thick, but I think they're a very appropriate thickness. I don't know that I'd want them any thinner, and I don't know that I'd really want them any thicker, to be honest. First thing I noticed, no real surprise here. I guess I should mention, there's been a couple people who have skated the Factions that are used to a raised heel boot, and when they put on the Factions, they feel like they're falling backwards. It's a very flat boot with almost no heel raise, right? They come with these stock footbeds here, which are pretty thin. And again, they don't come with shock absorbers. They do now, but before they didn't. So they felt very flat, especially compared to a raised heel boot. I say all that to say, putting these in here and giving yourself a little bit of more of a forward lean, just a little bit of a changing that angle that your foot sits in the boot, definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, which is totally fine. It took me probably, 15 minutes of skating around and warming up and stuff to really kind of get used to it, to that sort of new pitch that your foot is in the skate. It's just like any change you make to your skate, it's going to take a little bit of an adjustment period. So like I mentioned, I put the heel pad in just right on top of the existing footbed. When I put it in there, I didn't notice. I put my foot inside and it felt the heel cups sort of line up really well here. It was these mate up together very, very well. And I didn't once, after I put it in there, aside from noticing the pitch change, I didn't even really notice that it was in there, outside of noticing that the landings were a lot better. The landings just felt a lot better, just a lot more solid in a good way. Not nearly as harsh as it was before. So from what I can tell from my session, I probably skated for, about 2.5 hours. Yeah, they do their job. From what I can tell, I'm probably still not going to do big gaps, but that's probably because I'm not going to do big gaps with any skate, to be honest with you at this point. I don't really do big gaps anymore. But for rolling around and just sort of everything you saw, what I did today, they do their job really well. And yeah, I'm glad they made this change. I think it's a really good change. And so again, these come in all new pairs of Faction skates now. Just wanted to make a quick video testing them out, giving my thoughts on them. And so again, if you want some of these, if you already have Faction skates and you want to buy a pair of these, let Clark know that you want to buy these. So anyway, thank you, Faction, for doing what you do, making positive changes to your skates. I'm excited to see what skates you come out with next. And rollerbidders, if you did like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like rollerblading and want to get rollerblading out to more people here on YouTube. And with that, rollerbooters, I will see you on the next video. Take care. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Without your help, this would not be possible. If you want to support the channel through Patreon, check out the link down in the description below and check out the video on the screen. I'll see you over there.